Hello, Void. How are you doing? I've noticed in my reviews I am beginning to speak even quicker than typical, and my focus is getting a little spotty. So, as we enter our. We're about 14 and a half hours in, so past the halfway point, and still going. Strong, 50-50, but we're getting there. Okay. So, um, this was now, my partner was in the room for this one, and she can't handle gore or anything more on the extreme. And a lot of what I've been watching today has been in that venue. So I decided to pick one that looked like it was more of a supernatural thing, and it was labeled Teen Scream, so I didn't think it was going to be too gory for it. It was something that was popping right up on Netflix, so I more went with it just because the poster looked cool. And it did kind of catch my eye. So that would be The Wretched, 2019. I think it was direct to Netflix or something to that extent. I don't think this one had any sort of theatrical release. And I was pleasantly surprised by this one. It was a lot more clever than I was expecting it to be. Like the poster makes it look like an Antlers ripoff, and not not really. I'd more put it into this has got a touch of Antlers, but more Fright Night. So, boy is going to stay with his father up in more of a rural area, and he's not a big fan of that. He's helping his dad work at the local marina, but he saw something strange near his neighbor's place, who are a bunch of vacationers. Nice little family of four. But he thought he saw something strange and heard something odd, so he went out to investigate and thought he saw something. He isn't sure what. Also, looks like a black figure. And then he notices things going increasingly odd over his neighbors, culminating with one of the kids goes missing and no one seems to care or notice. They all seem to have forgotten her. It seems some sort of supernatural entity has that feeds on the forgotten has moved in, has replaced a member of the family, and is now, well, eating the kids. I yeah, and there's a few twists and turns along the way, but that it's our local boy or out of towner boy Ben and a cute girl he met who also works at the marina named Mallory that are trying to find out what's going on. I will say, this movie does not shy away from endangering children. For the longest time, that was really a taboo in horror. Occasionally broken, but not often. This one just says, go for it. And children are disappearing pretty frequently. Also, this one is a lot more gory than I was expecting it to be, particularly with some of the transformation-esque scenes. Not crazy gory or over the top like a lot of things I've watched today, but it's a decent amount. Creature effects are pretty decent in this one. So, and the twist, while a little arbitrary and felt like was technically tacked on, does make sense in the context of the movie. So, I will definitely slot that on there. I will say there's a few things that stood out to me pretty early on as obvious. Chekhov's guns, particularly with the stepmother and being there. So take that as you will. I'm not going to spoil that one, but that's kind of a hint. But overall, despite the clunkiness of the twist, it doesn't really detract from it. And the fact that the twist was there was an interesting bit of filmmaking. Could have been handled a little better, but overall, this was a pleasant surprise. I'm always down for a supernatural entity stalking a group of people, so this is kind of my wheelhouse. Let's see. MacGuffins. It's a little after school special to give us full 7. That's better than an average 6 for what I've been giving 6s today. I'll give it a 7. It hit a sweet spot for me. Maybe I'm being more lenient because my focus is blasted by all this, but nevertheless, I did enjoy it. I don't know if there's anything else really to say about it. It's a decent little mystery monster movie. For me, I'm glad I picked it up. All right. Probably do another Netflix one or two and continue to bounce around my services. Yeah. I think that's all for the moment. So I will see you guys back here in another hour or so. Couple hours. Okay.